Today we are going to talk about Bitcoin. I'm Pushpit on Crypto Decrypted, and in today's video we'll be looking at the most famous cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. But you have to understand two things first. Number one, Bitcoin is quite volatile, so you must do your own research before putting your money into it. Don't do it because someone else is doing it. And number two, I'm not a financial advisor, so take this as just an educational and informative video and not financial advice. So, Bitcoin was first mentioned in a paper published by Satoshi Nakamoto on 31st October 2008. And on January 3rd, 2009, the Bitcoin network came into existence with Satoshi Nakamoto mining the first block of Bitcoin. But wait, who is Satoshi Nakamoto? Well, no one actually knows who he is. The founder of Bitcoin chose to keep his identity a secret. Now you may think why. We can actually think about his anonymity like this. For example, each company has a CEO who promotes the products and is the face of the company. For example, Elon Musk. Similarly, Satoshi Nakamoto can be considered as the CEO of Bitcoin. Now, you can imagine what will happen if something happens to the CEO of a company. Naturally, its stock prices are going to go down because of market sentiments. Similarly, if something happens to Mr. Satoshi Nakamoto, then what? But nobody actually knows who he is. We can't even say if he is a single person or an entire organization, or even a male or female or of any other gender, or for that matter, even if he is alive or not. So, this kind of danger never came into question for Bitcoin. The reason behind Bitcoin can be clearly seen in the first line of the Bitcoin white paper. A purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. So Bitcoin is a digital asset that is not under the control of any central authority, just as the US bank controls the US dollar and the RBI controls the Indian rupee. But there is no central organization that controls Bitcoin. I'll provide the links to all resources mentioned in this video in the description box below. So feel free to look at them for more details. What do you think is the supply of Indian rupee? Is it limited or unlimited? It is unlimited. So whenever the government wants, it can print more and more Indian rupees. But what about Bitcoin? Its supply is limited. There are exactly 21 million Bitcoins that can ever be produced, and currently only about 18.8 million of them are in circulation. You might also think that Bitcoin is quite expensive. That is currently around 40 lakh rupees right now. Now, how do you buy it? You don't have to put such huge amount of money into cryptocurrencies. You can buy it in fractions and get started with as low as 100 rupees. I'll provide the links to some platforms in the description box below so you can get started with buying Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general. So, how does a Bitcoin transaction take place? For example, if a person A would like to send money to a person B, then the transaction would have to be verified by someone. In the traditional financial system, the bank plays this role of an intermediary. But in the case of Bitcoin, there is actually no intermediary. Then who is responsible for verifying all these transactions? So there are some people around the world who are willing to verify these transactions for us, and they are called miners. Now, to understand the process simply, whenever a transaction takes place, a mathematical puzzle is generated that is to be solved to add the transaction to the blockchain. So these thousands of people all around the world who are called miners try to solve this problem. How do they solve this? Using pen and paper? No. Using a laptop? No. They use very powerful computers that have enormous computing power so that they can be the first one to solve the problem. Now, what is the advantage of solving this problem? Do they get something in reward? The answer is yes. Currently, they get 6.25 bitcoins to add a block to the blockchain. In this way, we say that they are mining bitcoins, and this system is known as proof of work. So miners have to prove that they have done this computational work to get this reward, and this is how Bitcoin works. So there are two scenarios here, using Bitcoin as an alternate currency and using Bitcoin as a form of investment. Some people want to use Bitcoin as an alternate currency by replacing the dollar or rupee, but it is currently only being used as a form of investment. So it can be thought of as a store of value like gold, and hence it is also known as digital gold. It is not yet widely accepted as a payment method, but this can soon change in the coming years. We can already see companies like JP Morgan, PayPal, Visa, and Tesla supporting, holding, and accepting payments via Bitcoin. Though Tesla stopped accepting Bitcoin payments in May 2021 because of environmental effects due to mining, it seems that the time is not far when Bitcoin payments will resume being accepted, as majority of the energy used in Bitcoin mining is coming from environmentally friendly sources right now. But there is still a technical challenge that makes it hard for Bitcoin to gain mass adoption and to be used in daily transactions. Bitcoin mining takes time, and it can take around 10 minutes to get a transaction verified. And this is where the Solana and Cardano projects come into picture. There are several other projects like Ethereum and Polygon, Matic that aim to solve this issue, and I'm really a huge fan of all these projects. If you want to know more about these projects and want to get into the whole blockchain, crypto, and Web3 space, consider subscribing to this channel and hit that bell icon so that you can get notified whenever a new video comes out. Banks usually charge a very high amount in the name of foreign transfer fee, and also the transaction can take several days to go through. This is where Bitcoin is more economical because it doesn't charge such high fees and also takes relatively less time for the transaction to go through. Similarly, cryptocurrencies can be more economical compared to credit cards. This is the reason why banks and credit card companies are against cryptocurrencies, because they are getting some tough competition. Now, why do I invest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies for that matter? I believe in blockchain technology, and I think that it is here to stay. The whole idea behind blockchains is what made me invest in this in the first place. Currently, there is no regulation on the number of notes that the government can print, and it is not backed by any assets. So there is high risk of inflation, and therefore the value of our money depreciates. But Bitcoin is limited, and nobody can create Bitcoins at their own will. Understand one thing, I've researched a lot about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general, and you should also do the same before putting your money into anything. If you would like to remain updated and know more about the whole blockchain, crypto, and Web3 space, consider joining the Discord server of Crypto Decrypted, where we post everything from crypto news, the blockchain news, what's happening in Web3, and even Web3 internships and jobs. And also subscribe to this channel to get notified for more future videos. I'll see you in the next one.